everyone, welcome to Improv Therapy. Today we are here with Adi, Jess, John, Daniel, and Y-Lynn. And we're just going to do yet another episode in week approximately 600 of the quarantine. We've all made it this far, and supposedly, if all goes well, things will get back to some semblance of normal in 3 weeks' time. I'm not sure if you guys can hear the screaming. Those are my housemates.
No.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that is either a
Asher or
poltergeist or Annie Lau.
What's Annie screaming?
Why not both?
The ghost of Annie Lau?
You
That's
haunted by
terrifying.
Annie.
That is scary to think of in multiple ways.
It's hard to say. I think sometimes up to this point in the quarantine, the loudest I've heard them go has been exercise. So they do this body weight thing. And when about an hour in, they usually get pretty worked up. And then
body weight thing.
Are you sure? Yeah. Are you sure?
I mean, they do it in the living room usually.
No, but I can relate. My roommates are like that too. They're always like every day at like 5 p.m. I just hear you bitch, my core, you bitch. I'm like, whoa.
Wait, hang on. Are we talking about exercise here or?
Yes.
Okay.
That's very aggressive yoga.
They're very aggressive to the YouTube lady.
Yeah. Is it yoga? Are they doing yoga?
No, it's just like body weight, same kind of stuff. They're doing hits, high interval.
I mean, I do Adrian with yoga with Adrian, and I swear sometimes, but it's not nearly as intense as what's happening out there.
You gotta like scream though. That's how you get stronger. That's what my brother who powerlifts says.
Dude, I would believe anything your brother says about lifting or getting bigger. Your brother has more muscles in his one thigh than I have in my whole body.
I know.
It's insane.
It's slightly terrifying, yeah.
Yeah.
They might explain some things because both Annie and Asher were really into powerlifting for a long time. So maybe it's a tradition. I'm not sure. We yell as loud as possible. Your muscles go. Poop.
Yeah. It apparently just hypes you up. He also likes listening to the Red Army Choir.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
The Red Army Choir, like the national choir of the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
And they would sing like Soviet communist songs, and it gets them real hype, apparently.
Sure. Hey, whatever works for whoever, right?
Nothing like the sound of a collapsing economy to make you feel extreme.
No. It's about the strength of the union, the strength of the worker.
Yeah, man. Whatever pops your muscles.
The fist of the proletariat.
I mean, if you think about it, this is basically the song of a collapsing economy.
Yeah, pretty much.
So recession
is
very
silent.
Yeah.
The 90s nostalgia callbacks are getting too real now.
Man, in the 90s I was in school. I didn't have to worry too much. Cool. How about the rest of you guys? Daniel, Adi, I'm not sure about Adi in particular because when I asked him at the start of this call, he said it was mood lighting. I'm not sure what kind of mood precisely we're going for here.
Just a horror.
Noah. The mood is Noah. Look at that lighting.
It's a Noah. It's a Noah in the times of COVID. I don't know. It's.
Oh yes! Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. That's great. I love it.
Moonlight.
You just need like a slowly rotating fan at this point.
Yeah.
Just a cigarette.
Voiceover. That Dave walked in.
I gotta start monologuing to myself.
Nobody walked in because everyone was a stay-home notice.
And then the Dame picked up a Zoom call. Yeah.
That's great. How about you, Daniel? Thanks for moving the light. Earlier, you was coming from behind your head, which was a bit distracting. But
yeah, I know. I made everyone think I was probably some sort of a holy saint or something, but no, I'm not.
No, we weren't.
Yeah, it was just the light. Voila, I'm my regular self. Nothing much to say. Life under quarantine.
So one of the things I wanted to ask you guys, and this is partly inspired by what's happening out there, is are you guys exercising differently nowadays, or are you not? Are you also not exercising as normal?
I'm exercising a lot more than usual.
Same actually.
Yeah,
I've noticed that, Daniel, because Daniel and I are Strava buddies. So every day, bro, you're doing great. Keep it up.
Like, are you running every day, or is it like, are you just doing different things?
No, just different things. Like I started doing yoga as well at home. Yeah. I know some yoga at home. Lots of running. I did plus 30. I do like 30-40% more running than usual.
Wow.
Yeah, which is bad. I don't know.
Why is that bad?
Why is it bad?
Hang on, what is normal?
Our normal is like 35 kilometers, so now I'm like more around 50.
Wait,
Wow.
like a week,
Kilometers
right?
in
A week.
A week,
not-
yeah, a week.
Okay, not a day.
Not
right.
every single time. Not every
Just
single
checking.
time. Yeah. Which is still reasonable, but yeah, it's just like I have to find other ways to use my time, I guess.
Nice. Sorry, just my knee just ached. Just by hearing.
Just by
say
talking
this.
about it.
I think 50 is more than I did all of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally I run it in 2, so this takes a
Real.
while.
Yeah, it's a good average. It's a good average between the two of us, I guess. Jess, what sort of sports have you been doing?
A little bit of everything. So my sister, who's now back in Hong Kong, she sent me a bunch of like yoga instructors who are not like mailed me a bunch of yoga instructors. But
You wish.
Right. No, a Kayak is full of people. No,
Hot, sweaty, dead people.
yeah, she sent me some like Instagrams because a lot of them are moving to Instagram Live because there's obviously no studios open. So there's a lot of free yoga classes that you can get that you normally have to pay like 20-30 Sing for.
Yeah.
So I'm like, excellent, I'll do that. And walking around because I think I go really stir crazy if I'm inside for even a full 24 hours.
Yeah, same reason why I'm going out for a run. It's like my excuse, I guess.
I feel so much better. Don't you guys like feel immediately like so much better?
Yeah.
Like
I think
When?
after specifically after exercising. So what I did today. So on the topic of exercise, and let me bring up my tragic comedy story here, which is
Give us the whole hero's journey. Yeah.
okay. No, well, the first thing is that the really terrible news out of America, aside from millions of people dying from COVID, was like that this young black man was shot a couple months back. I don't know if you found this. Ahmad.
Which one?
I brought it up. Yeah, I know, right? Fuck.
They
I'm
should
allowed to curse.
Yeah.
Ahmad Arbery. He was just jogging, and he was shot by these two guys, white guys in Georgia, who were doing a citizen's arrest. And like, it's a really tragic story. And only today, months later, were those guys even arrested, despite there being footage of it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he's an avid runner, so I think it's either his girlfriend or his someone made this dedication. Like today's his birthday, like May 7th. So in the States is his birthday. So they're asking people to run 2.23 miles for his birthday. So I was like, wow, that's amazing. I don't run, but I cycle. So I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to go 22.3 miles. So just to make it. So I went there. I was feeling great. I got the halfway point and turned around. I'm like, oh, this is great. I looked at my bike computer that has my mileage. I'm like, okay, just a little bit more. Oh, I have to overshoot my house and come back. Boom. I stopped it right on 22.3, or so I thought. So when I went to my phone and uploaded the data, 22.267.
No.
Which I mean, I guess I'll still post it. I'll be like, it's close enough, but it's just very.
It's okay. You still have 3 hours, I guess, John.
I could,
just,
but
like,
I can't restart it. I can't restart it and just add. I looked it up. Like, can I just edit it?
Run. Do another full
just
run.
do a full run, man. You committed to the bit. You gotta do it.
Go for it, man.
Yeah.
Leave right now. Get out.
Respect the dead.
I feel bad, right? Like I'm already. My roommate was like, "What do you mean, man?" They said it says the flyer says run, walk, or jog, not cycle. But I'm like, so you don't even get the right mileage. But anyway, yeah. But I felt great. Other than that,
Cool.
Tragic comedy.
Nice.
How about the rest of you?
Yeah.
I went running yesterday for the first time. So I'd been doing some home exercises, but then I was like, okay, let's go for a run. I ran all the way till the city, but then my running is really mostly walking.
Me too.
What a mood, yeah.
But the thing is, so you're allowed to not wear a mask when you're running, but then I'm very scared that when I'm walking, somebody's going to be like, what the fuck, you're walking and you're not wearing a mask.
Just run away from them, yeah.
Yeah.
So
You see the
it's
cops,
always
then you start to run. Not suspicious at all.
I have this Karate Kid moment where I'm like, mask on, mask off, mask on, mask off all the time. It's just very annoying because you have to walk and then I have to put my mask on, but when I'm running, I take it off and constantly. That's more exercise than actually running.
Just arms.
Did you
More
guys see
exertion,
that-
putting
that-
it on and taking it off, and actually walking.
Did you guys see that they now have like robots that are gonna go after us, like full
Like a
Black Mirror style in
To make
Bishan
sure you're
Park?
running fast enough.
No. In Bishan Park, in Bishan Park, they hired this robot from Boston Dynamics. You know those creepy robots
Yeah.
with like that
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
dogs with an arm.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they hired one of those robots that's gonna go around Bishan Park and just like see if people are respecting safe, like social distancing, and will play a message, etc. That's to start. I think they might like just attach a gun to it if people don't respect. It's really creepy. There's a picture out there of like the sign of Black
Jeez.
Mirror for real, guys. It's coming.
I mean, some people can use it though. I mean, because I'm cycling, right? I cover pretty good distance, and I see that a lot of people are like really close together. Some people are going out in groups. Some people are stopping and hanging out and stuff. So it's pretty bad. The worst thing that happened to me today, at the near the end of my ride just now, so around 22.2, whatever. Like there was a Grab driver on a motorcycle because I'm on the road because I do a road bike, and the dude just straight up like sneezed. Like he was like 15 meters away from me, and he was riding, and it was so loud. He was like, "Hello!" And I was like, I was like, there was a moment where everything slowed down. I'm like, I'm going through this guy's mist. And I'm just like,
Oh no.
Oh, that's very visceral experience these days.
right? So
That's
if I get
why-
COVID, I know exactly where I got it from. So
That's the good part. Yeah, the contract tracing is
Trace
done.
together.
Turn your Bluetooth on.
Is it bad though that like, because I went through SARS in Hong Kong, right? And that was like, that kind of set this whole, I think, mentality. And the customs totally changed, right? Like if you cough on the train in Hong Kong pre-COVID, everyone knew like move away or like cover your mouth and all this etiquette that existed. And when I came to Singapore, that wasn't so much the case. And now I'm like, you all get it now! Like this is awful.
Yeah.
what's the saying again? You used to cough to cover a fart. Now you fart to cover a cough.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you have that power?
Yes, I have
Yeah, you just
never
gotta
heard
concentrate a
that.
little bit.
I've never heard of that as a thing. Just own up that you farted. Be a, like,
Yeah, just
It
don't make the
happens.
world worse. What are you doing?
turn around, look everybody in the eye, and say, "I'm sorry.
Own
I
it.
passed gas," and then leave.
Awesome. So I guess Y-Lynn, you're not into the exercising thing, or
I haven't left the house in to exercise for since when did I come back? Holy shit! Like in prehistoric times when I
March?
fled in March. Yeah.
But you have not left your house?
No, I have left my house, but I've not left to exercise. I've gone for walks and things, but I can't do what I usually do, which is swim.
okay.
Mm.
And I only go out to walk at night, which is also why I am ghostly.
I think everyone is though, no? Like
Yeah, but this is like a new level of like ghost for me.
I think like the white hair and the dark lips accentuates it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm going full goth.
Was there a super moon like a few days ago or something?
Yesterday, I think.
Yesterday.
It was really, really bright and yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I tried to look out my window, but the angle was off by the time I looked out. It was apparently above the block, somewhere around midnight.
That's so funny. It's opposite of what I'm experiencing. So like as I face my computer now, it's right behind a window, and I saw the moon the whole time. I was like, I like closed my shades. It was so bright.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a big
Did you
one. It was a
guys
big one.
hear the massive clap of thunder at 5 a.m. or was that just me? Maybe that was just
Last
me.
night?
I'm asleep.
No.
Yeah,
No, but
maybe it was just my area.
But in the past
Pretty
couple of weeks,
loud.
there have been some crazy loud thunder. Yeah,
Yeah.
Some
there's
amazing
been
storms.
huge
I love it.
storms.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
it's
Louder
terrible
than
to be a
usual,
delivery
right?
driver now, but you're indoors, like most of us. It's pretty nice.
It sounded like Zook. I was like, it's 5 a.m. Why is it so loud?
5 a.m.
For a
is not
second,
a
I
time
thought
that
you
I'm
said.
awake.
For a second, I thought you said Zeus, and I was like,
No, that
Sure,
too.
yeah,
Like,
why not?
yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
That makes slightly more sense than Zook.
reference.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
But it was no, but I was deep asleep, and both me and Jay woke up because it was like, bang! And we were both like, what the? It was really strange.
Wow.
Yeah. But actually, have people been having weird dreams in COVID? I hear this is like a thing.
Not more than usual.
Is it?
Not less, maybe.
Not more than
even.
usual.
I mean, this afternoon I had a nap. I dreamt I set the house on fire because I left the fire on. I was cooking this morning, so I woke up and went to the kitchen 3 times, to check if I had left the fire on, and went back to sleep. And that's happened twice. And no, I was
Oh my
fine
God.
all the time. It's okay.
Huh.
Not on fire.
Have you been having weird dreams, Jess?
They were weirder like in the first couple of weeks of lockdown, I think. Yeah. So I kept having these recurring dreams where I was trying to get somewhere and I couldn't. or like I was trying to control a route that I was driving and I just kept taking like the wrong exit or like a weird path or like home wasn't where it was supposed to be. So it was just all very surreal.
So your subconscious like clawing at the wall.
Yeah,
trying to get out.
probably.
Yeah.
But I was also like, why can't I dream about like fun stuff? This is not fun.
What kind of fun stuff do you dream of usually?
I don't know, like improv. I don't know.
You dream of
That's a nightmare, Jess. That's a
Yeah.
nightmare.
Yeah, no, actually, it's a cliche, but I have that actor's nightmare like maybe once a month. Like where legit, my version is I'm in the audience watching a show, and then the SM calls me, goes, John, our lead actor's gone. We need you to come up. Just do it. I'm like, okay, I'm coming. And I go up there, and then that's when I realize I don't know the lines. It's fucking terrifying. So I improvise,
Amazing.
and no one likes it.
I have a variation of that dream, but it's not actor's nightmare. It's Chinese students examination
Oh
nightmare.
my god.
Oh no, Kim's so triggered.
Kim's like, oh, flashbacks.
What's that?
Um,
What's a Chinese student's nightmare?
Oh my god, it's like when you sit down at your desk, right, doing exam in the exam hall, and then you look at it's usually the essay paper where you just have to write essay in Chinese, and then you look at the question, and then you go, oh fuck, I don't know how I don't know any Chinese. And so in my dreams, I have variations where like sometimes I just kind of sit there and ponder my existence. Sometimes I write the whole thing in pinyin. The worst ones are when I start actually writing in Chinese, but then the words disappear as I write them.
Ooh.
Bad man.
That's meta. That's meta.
I mean, it's a terrible dream, but it's so great.
It's been like 15? No, it's been 14 years since I've sat for a Chinese exam, like nearly half my life.
You still get it. Oh man.
Yeah, I also had
murder mystery dreams. Go ahead. You were saying.
I also had a dream like this just like a week ago where I was back in school for whatever reason for a test.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking in my dream, oh well, I haven't been in school for like 15 years. And suddenly the prof comes and he gives me like the paper that I did like 15 years back.
Oh my god.
And it's like, okay, oh wow, full mark, oh great, etc. And then they give us like the topic for the actual exam of that day. And like, I don't know any of that. Like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then I woke up.
Oh, boy.
A strange dream, strange COVID dream, I guess.
Is it a COVID dream though? Because that does sound like a school dream.
Yeah, but I usually don't have these sort of dreams, so I don't know.
Maybe it's stress.
Adi, do you have something?
Oh no, I was asking, does anybody have murder mystery dreams? Like active murder mysteries?
No, that sounds like fun though.
Yeah, that sounds cool as shit, dude.
Yeah.
I feel really, really cool while doing that because it'll be like clues that were set up in like the first act of the dream. And in the third act, I'm resolving it.
Oh. I had one. Let's hear about yours first.
Wait, hold on. You dream in heralds? Your dream is a herald format.
I have a 3-act structure going. There's a midpoint and there's a resolution and everything. I have
amazing.
A post-credit scene also. Like I wake up, then I go back to sleep. And then I have a post-credit scene for that.
You should write this shit down, dude. Like,
Yeah.
It's just that I forget it like while I'm brushing my teeth after I wake up. So I just
So you got to do it straight away. That's like
Don't brush your teeth.
Don't brush
you got to keep a voice recorder by your bed, just like mumble into it the minute you wake up.
It's amazing. I love it. I love those dreams. Those
So
are
cool.
my best dreams.
I had a murder mystery dream last month. This was really weird because what was happening. I realized during the dream that it was in a gingerbread house, and the detectives were eating the evidence. and so as it progressed, I was like, "What are you doing? You can't eat the evidence. It's evidence." And then they're like, "It's great. It's delicious."
Wait, who were you? Were you a detective? Were you the
I think
victim?
I was a detective. At least I was trying to get it solved.
Were you the
but
house?
No. I don't believe I was house. Maybe it was the house who did it. I'm not sure because they got away scot-free. All the evidence was eaten.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
delicious though.
That is the twist of a rolled out short story, actually.
Is it the lamb? The lamb.
Yeah,
leg
the
one?
lamb leg one.
I love that. That was great.
Classic literature.
It was the first book I had of his that wasn't a kiddie book, and I just reread it over and over again. Love that story.
It's a good
Oh,
one, yeah.
That reminds me, did anybody hear the reading by Daniel Radcliffe of Harry Potter?
No, I heard he was doing it, but I
Yeah,
didn't watch
same.
it. Did you read the whole book? Did you read the whole?
No, just the first chapter, which was very
Sorcerer's
strange
Stone?
because the first chapter doesn't have any Harry in it. So
Yeah.
it was strange that they made Daniel Radcliffe do that part. But
Was he doing voices and stuff? Was he doing like McGonagall and Dumbledore?
he did Dumbledore's voice and he did Vernon Dursley's voice, but he didn't do the female voices. I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, which makes
Too much of a stretch.
Yeah.
Playing out of type.
Speaking of which, it's crazy how much. Has anyone been watching any like the free theater screenings that have been released and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
just
did.
I did the first one last
Great.
night.
Which one? Which one did you watch, Kim?
Benedict Cumberbatch as the creature in Frankenstein.
Oh.
Awesome.
Yeah, I hear the production's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's really, really good. You could talk all day about some of the directorial choices that were made. But the acting, at least for Benedict, yeah.
You said you watched him as the creature?
Yeah.
Did you watch it the other way around or no?
I will.
Ah, cool. Yeah. There's Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi,
Everyone
Rachel.
says hi.
I was like, what's moving in John's background? Oh no! No!
Creature. I mean, Benedict
I like
Cumberbatch.
Johnny Lee Miller as an actor too. I feel he's very underrated. But I have
You
yet
think
to
he's
watch either of
underrated in
them.
this one?
Oh, I haven't seen either of them. I just think in
Okay.
general he's underrated. Like I love him in Train Spotting,
Mm.
and the Sherlock show when I watched for a season was good.
Which who was he in Sherlock?
He's Sherlock. Oh, sorry. In no, what's it called? Holmes and Watson. I forgot the one with Lucy Liu. What's that one called?
Elementary.
Yeah, that's the one.
How about the rest of you? Have you guys seen any other live theater stuff? I should
Late Company. I think Pandemonium did. Late Companies. That they posted that.
Yeah,
I've been seeing local theater mostly. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good.
yeah. The week before they did Falling. I think they're gonna do one more next. They're doing Dragonflies.
Just watching Rachel flop
This is
around.
lovely.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was gonna cover my mouth, but honey, this is a show that's gonna be like released and stuff.
Sorry, it's like having a cat.
She is kind of like a cat. Look at her go. She's scampering away.
Bye, Rachel.
What a great cameo.
The Zoom live calls you.
Oh, what were we talking about? Pandemonium, was it?
Pandemonium.
Theater,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen also like I think Checkpoint's gonna do some audio experiences as well. Just they're shifting their focus on to non-live theater things at the moment.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of great stuff out there that you can watch if you're feeling like it.
I've been
watched
to a
this-
couple of online poetry nights. Those are fun.
Oh, haven't even heard of any. That's cool.
Yeah. So there was the Singapore Remo closing party last week, and then Spoken Bird are running weekly ones on Thursday. Yeah. It's actually way more chill than going physically to a venue to read poetry or to watch people read poetry, because if it's boring, right, you can just like on your phone and it's not rude. No one can see you. But generally, like the stuff read is really, really good.
That's cool.
It kind of makes me wonder, actually, for the bigger theaters that have been quite resistant to putting their stuff online. Like, is it? I don't know if the finances make sense, but would they open up like digital streaming as more of a thing now? Because, for example, like I've been watching a lot of New York City Ballet because their season's obviously like canceled, so they've had to put up some old recordings. And I'm like, I'm sure people would pay to watch this stuff. I don't know why they didn't do it earlier.
Yeah, hopefully it's a little bit more of an eye-opening thing, right? Because if anything else, I think it's just like tradition.
Yeah.
Like if you put it up, people aren't going to watch your show and blah 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 blah.
Exactly.
But,
I don't think that's true though. Like this whole
definitely not,
situation made me miss like the shared experience of going to the theater so much, and like, you know, just hanging out with other people watching something live. I think it's super different,
yeah.
and
I think it's
hopefully
the same-
people understand that a bit more. Yeah.
It's the
No, I
same
was
argument
watching-
for those museums who tell you like, oh, you can't take any picture of the paintings
Yeah.
or any of those things, right? It's okay, but yeah, it's definitely a different experience when you actually go to a museum.
Have you seen that lately? Because lately all the museums I go to are okay with taking pictures as long as you don't use flash.
They're
Depends on the
fewer
museum.
and fewer. Yeah, they're fewer and
Yeah.
fewer. You're
Like,
right.
the museums I go to, people are just on their phones. They're just like collecting photos of
Yeah.
paintings.
Oh yeah,
Which
I've
I
seen
find
this
very
once.
strange. Which I find very strange. Yeah.
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah.
I've seen this once in the Louvre. It was amazing. Like this lady was just going on with an iPad and just like taking a picture, but you know, the iPad wouldn't even have time like to stabilize. Like the pictures were all shaky. It was
Amazing.
like it was. I don't know. I don't know if she was cataloging all this thing, like thinking, oh my god, like I have to bring all of this back home. So
That could be an art exhibit also, right? Like art at a rush. Like that's how I experience it.
Art in a
Oh, yeah.
rush.
maybe it was modern art, but she was running. She was really like running through the different rooms, and you know, you have so many paintings on the walls over there, and she was like,
Yeah.
just going.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh!
was-
What if
she
she
was
was
so
in
excited.
What if she was in some kind of Da Vinci Code-esque murder mystery? What if she was gathering
Crack the code.
clues?
Gotta crack the code. Yeah, well, she had like an app on her iPad that was helping her solve.
Oh man.
I do find
Some people
the,
just get really excited. Sorry.
Yeah.
sorry,
just
the
get really
experience
excited.
of watching live theater at home more relaxing, but also less focused. There's so many distractions going on around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you just have to make a decision that you're going to treat it like theater.
Mm.
Like literally, like Rachel and I, like we watched Fleabag the other day,
Mm.
and we were like, all right, phones to the side. We're just gonna watch, but we can cuddle, so it's nice.
Oh,
Oh, Fleabag, by the way, is so good. The stage,
Yeah,
the
it's
stage show.
amazing.
Okay, that's great. That's great. I was just talking to someone the other day about who was it? I think it was Imran. All right, he was saying that one of his compasses of morality is in the prospect of one day being in a position to be elected. He doesn't want anything to bite him, so that keeps him on the straight and narrow and not doing things which might potentially be a bad idea for someone who might potentially be elected.
I actually feel the same. way.
Imran Khan, right?
Yes.
The next
The
Imran
one we
Khan.
know, not the
Sorry, Adi.
not the one who's already president.
So previously, people would not do any bad stuff because they were afraid not to get into heaven, and now it's like not to get into office. That's the new thing, right?
Yeah.
The atheist way of keeping in line.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if
Whatever
it works
works.
for someone, as long as it works and there's morality for you, and
I also believe that might be because earlier only God knew all the things you've done, and now the entire internet knows what you've done.
Good and never
Good
forget.
points.
Good point.
Yeah.
The internet is your God now, so you gotta please the gods.
that is horrifying.
Yeah.
The internet is not a kind God.
Isn't this
It's a-
what
it's a-
American Gods
it's
is
a fast
about?
God.
Haven't read it, but
Hmm?
isn't this what Neil Gaiman's American Gods is about? I've
Kind
yet
of, yeah.
to read it, but
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. New gods versus old gods.
right. I gotta read it. Has anyone been reading? Just
Yeah.
have you guys been reading books? I feel I've
Has
been reading
anyone
lately.
been reading?
Anyone been reading?
I have been reading some academic papers on economics, and I have understood none of them. And I'm just reading like one every day, and I'm understanding exactly 0% of it. I'm
Welcome to
sticking
my
to
degree.
it.
Welcome to my degree. That's
So
my life.
Wow.
Because this friend of mine recommended like a bunch of them, and he's like, "Oh my god, I know you're interested in this stuff." And I don't know when I indicated that I'm interested. Exactly.
It's like
And
you
I
used
just-
money before.
Can
You
cut
bought
to,
things,
like-
right?
Can you here you imagine cut to Adi at a party just drunk without quantitative easing?
And I feel, I don't know, I hope that someday it'll just all make sense. And I'm just waiting for that. And I'll just keep reading to that.
Yeah. So are we heading into a recession, or do you think they're gonna keep on
Yeah, please tell
printing,
us.
like printing money? What's gonna happen? Please tell us.
I'll let you know in a couple of months. I will.
Thank you.
Once there's a paper out, I'll just link it to you. Because
Does your friend actually understand the papers that he's sending to you? Like,
he's studying public policy, and I hope he does. I don't
that's
know.
no guarantee.
Yeah, no, but he is smarter than I am for sure. So not that that's a benchmark, but yes.
On this topic, you're pretty smart, Eddie. Come on.
Yeah.
Thanks, Daniel. That's what I wanted to hear.
Information will wind its way into your brain at some point.
What's happening to Kim? Is it anyone?
Yeah, does Kim
Yeah.
have a
Are
screen
you being?
wipe?
Yeah. Are you being
Editing?
directed by George Lucas?
Yeah.
What's happening?
No. I was poking at something. I think we were talking about the money thing and just just thinking.
You,
It just reminded
you're
me
sad
of,
because you forgot what money is.
Yeah, no, yeah, I will soon.
It's been a while for me too, bro.
Business.
Woof.
All right.
Oh
I mean,
boy.
let's be real. If the one thing that COVID has taught us is that money doesn't exist. Unlike individually, money 100% exists because we all need to pay rent and we all need to buy food. But like on a state level, on a bailout level, money doesn't fucking exist at all because they just print that shit.
Yes. Economics.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Economics, yes. Right.
Love to see you at your next drunk party, Adi, and see what you think you're interested in when you're drunk.
It becomes astrophysics somehow.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Okay, I want to ask you guys. So at this point, usually somewhere around the halfway mark, I'm good at math. I asked some advice on something. So since we were just talking about that, not the exercise. That's fine. I already asked about that. Moral compasses.
Mm.
I want to ask you guys, where do you find your source of morality from?
Oh, this is deep stuff. Love it.
Nobody's answering. Nobody has a moral.
It is something you have to think about for a second. I guess.
Don't have a moral compass. What's the next question, Kim?
I'll take a swing at this one because I've watched Good Place twice.
You basically have a degree in
I get it. Yeah, I think I really do genuinely. Okay, so one of the smarter people here will correct me, but I feel like I'm pretty close to a Kantian. Like, so it's not utilitarian where it's just not like it's. I don't believe just the greatest good for the greatest amount of people, right? I believe treating everyone with respect. So respect for autonomy, respect for blah blah blah. Yeah, and like I ask myself, if I were to do this thing, is that fair as much as I can? It's not too far from Imran's thing, I guess. Will it stop me from getting office? No, I don't know.
That's a little different, I suspect.
Yeah.
This is cool. Has that been difficult for you?
Not really. I don't think so. I think it makes it like, because my whole life religion, my life philosophy rather, is I'm an absurdist, not a really like deep one. Like I'm just like I get the idea like, oh, life is meaningless, therefore the only meaning is the meaning we give to it, and therefore when I have that life philosophy, everything kind of just becomes a little bit more simple. Like I'm just like, it's cool, baby. Like whatever. Yeah, just treating people with respect and like the idea that like, I don't know why I brought it up, but like I feel like those are my two philosophies: treat people with respect, and life has no meaning, so give it your own. And then that's how I live. My moral compass and my life compass.
Cool.
Anyone else?
Awesome. How about the rest of you? How do you deal with your moral issues?
Not have them.
Correct.
Well, what do you mean though? Is there an example you can give?
So I mean, usually, I guess on a day-to-day basis, if there are no issues, if there's no conflict or friction, then it's fine. But it's normally when there's some issue that you have to deal with, like, how do I treat this person? Do I act good or evil? Or if that even means anything to you in this particular instance, like, do I tip my delivery driver? Should I kick the beggar I pass by on the street? Should I take revenge on someone who has wronged me? These are the questions that occur to me, and maybe not to you.
But do you think you choose most of this? Like, I feel 90% of that comes from your education background and all this. And then there is this 10% of you trying to reflect on yourself, which first has to have been taught to you in a way. Like, a lot of people just don't even think about why they do the things they do. But then, so you have to start with that and then kind of expose yourself to others, other philosophies, other ways of life, other value systems, etc., so that you can find your own. But I don't know, maybe 90-10 is like too much on the acquired side. I mean, on the, yeah, I feel like a lot of it comes from like deep down your what you've been taught as a child somehow.
I agree with that, but I also think that like, or maybe it's just because I took ethics and philosophy and all these stuff when I entered college, but like it got me interested to think about and reflect back on why I feel the way I feel about things. Oh no, you know what really helped was when I became an atheist, like, because my moral background was just Catholicism, right? That's what I grew up with. My parents were like, don't do this because of God. And I'm like, really though? So that's what got me thinking about it anyway. But I do agree with you that a lot of my stuff is probably deeply ingrained. Like, Fun topic though, Kim.
I feel I was raised in a in a very Christian household and a very Christian church as well. Christian church is a bit of a I mean, you'd hope so, but yeah, like I feel that a lot of my moral is a very vague term, and it's not. I feel that it's not a very useful schema. I'd rather talk about my politics. Because I think you can't be an ethical person without considering politics.
I didn't catch that last part. You can't be a what?
I feel that it's difficult to talk about ethics if you do not link it to politics. And I don't mean like, oh, what political party do you support? Like, what football team do you support? I mean, what are your politics? What do you believe in? What ideals and what values do you believe in?
So politics also derives from certain first principles, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you say, talking in very American terms, if you're a Republican or a Democrat, there are certain first principles that inform those ideas, right? Or a libertarian for that matter. If you believe that the freedom of an individual is of paramount importance, that is your first principle. That could be a moral stance as well.
Yeah.
Which informs
into each other, right? Yeah.
I think it's very chicken and egg, right? It's kind of just a cycle. Like your morals inform your politics, and your politics inform your morals.
Because I think it is also I think it is first principles and then your politics. I don't know. I believe it is a clear causality over there. I don't know. That's, at least I feel the people who are strongly political at least have some issue.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, I don't know. What would you strongly? Anyone? What do you feel is your strong? I guess Y-Lynn first. What are your political? How do you describe your politics?
A lot of my politics, and I think a lot of my ethical stances come from a rejection of Christianity as it is taught. That's basically it. There's a lot of if you look at the Bible, and I don't really want to, but I'm going to look at the Bible. If you look at the Bible, there's a lot of radicalism in it that just doesn't exist in the modern day church anymore. You had a life philosophy that was based on charity and giving to the poor and taking care of the most vulnerable people in society. And it was a philosophy based on radical kindness and collective action, and you don't see that in the church anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know about the whole first principle politics thing, because it's like a really not that I think you're wrong. I don't think so. I just think that it's a difficult topic to talk about in like an hour, because it's gonna if you really wanted to get into it, right, we'd have to talk about like all our cultural backgrounds, our personal backgrounds, our religious backgrounds, our upbringing as well, and all of these things inform all of these things inform the ethical structures through which we think.
Do you guys believe ethical or morality by extension is biological? How much of it is actually hardwired in your biology?
Morality,
ethics, yeah.
Oh, I think it's 100% nurture.
Yeah, I think so.
I've never really thought about much about it, but I think so, right? By definition, almost.
Yeah.
Something where I read this or heard this was about like, is a spider killing its prey or beheading its own young ones? I don't know. Was it a spider or some other insect?
Praying mantis.
Sorry.
Praying mantis. Oh, no, not young. The husband and that
really. So was that a morally wrong thing to do, or if you were a creature of that kind, would doing that be morally wrong? And,
I think asking that question, applying human morality to animals, isn't.
Also, I feel like you're conflating multiple things.
Yeah. Sorry, why?
You're conflating multiple things because you're asking, is it biological? But that's not. You can't. Yeah, like I think Wylin's hit it on the head. Like you can't
No,
impose your
but-
human morality onto an animal. Doesn't make any
Oh.
sense.
No, because the reason I say biological, and maybe for animals it seems weird, but like for another intelligent species, if there exists in the universe, would our morality apply to them or their morality apply to us? And
Are
would
they
it
human?
be different because of our biology in that case? I don't know.
I mean,
So
Yeah, no, that's
even
interesting
just
question.
looking at humans, I think there are some biological difference that will inform your values and morals, or at least your way of seeing the world and reacting to it. Imagine, take the extreme example of a psychopath. Psychopaths are known for having is it amygdala?
Lack of empathy.
Yeah, they have a lack of empathy that
Yeah.
comes from the fact that is it amygdala, right? Which
amygdala's flight or flight, cerebellum. No, I'm not sure. I know, but yeah, something shrunk.
Forgot, right? One part of the brain which is actually smaller, and so they've done some studies to see that also people who are even more on the extreme opposites, people who are willing to give and take huge risk at their own personal expense to help others. So people who are going to give a kidney, for instance, who are going to be on a kidney donor list just because. On the other end, they have an amygdala which is a lot more developed, right? So in a way, this is going to inform your morals, I guess. So from a biological standpoint, yeah, your capacity to empathize also comes from your biology, and so it's not entirely nurture. It is also biological.
I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, like to take your example of a psychopath with the lessened, let's go with amygdala. Let's just assume it's amygdala, right? So a normal person has a standard amygdala, someone more heroic has a bigger amygdala, psychopath has a smaller one, and then a praying mantis, like from Adi's example, has no amygdala. So I feel like you need to have the brain capacity to be able to process and think about ethics before you can be an ethical person. And your example just shows a smaller or bigger capacity for it, maybe. But then but then again, it's interesting that you say people with the more developed amygdalas are more prone to be kind as opposed to more. Because I don't know. It's interesting.
The thing about biology is that it's not. I think when we say that something is biological, the implication there is that it's hardwired, inherently unchangeable. But biology really just means potential, right? Like, someone who has a large amygdala why not? Could be more compassionate. But someone who doesn't have that could also learn to be as compassionate.
Yeah.
Like,
but I guess
these capacities are capacities. These are potentials. They are not direct causes.
Exactly, right. They don't define you. They don't define you entirely. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. So, but it's kind of the set that you start with. So the same way that you can argue that it makes sense to not have men and women compete with each other in certain sports, because from a biological standpoint, they don't start with the same assets, I would say, right? For certain types of sports, just because of biology. At the end of the day, a woman who trains a lot can do way better than a man, right? So it's kind of the similar thing here, where I would say maybe there are some ways where how your brain is able to process certain information. And by information, I also mean emotions and react to stimuli will mean that you will start with a different set, and then from there you can train yourself, either because you actually train yourself or because you're being trained by culture and your parents and everything to get to a different level. I would say.
Amygdala is talking about how much of that morality are you able to achieve, right? Or how ethical are you? I'm talking about a much more basic thing of what is even ethical. So for a species where killing their young one would be considered as ethical as anything else, would to us not seem the same. You know what I mean? So does that, I'm talking about biology even at a more primitive level. What actions are unethical or morally wrong, per se?
But so here, maybe a better example is just like difference of morality in between cultures, right? Where you're going to have a certain culture trying to impose their standards or their way of seeing ethics to another culture. And I think it's maybe closer than taking the example of praying mantis.
Maybe. But that would be learned then, I guess.
I think morality, how we are kind of using it, is simply a human construct.
Yeah,
I agree.
definitely.
Yes, you wanna add?
Animals in the wild eat each other and their children to survive. If we are in that situation in the next 20 years in the climate change wars, we might have to do that.
That's so hopeful of you, Y-Lynn, to think we're even going to get to the climate change wars.
I know,
COVID's
right?
not going to wipe us out.
I know, right?
That's
Yeah.
cool.
But like, we can all think of edge cases in human behavior where like whatever moral schemes we have throughout the window simply for survival. So yeah.
I guess another way to think about morals is like who like what people or creatures would benefit from doing improv. Like I don't think praying mantises would get a lot out of yes and, but I think from humans to aliens, I think so.
Yes, and another head, please, for me to choose. Nom 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 nom.
Nom, nom.
Awesome. Thanks, John, for that awesome segue. Because we're coming to our last part of today. Thank you all for sharing your views on morality or lack thereof, or bio. I don't know how we got to praying mantises necessarily, but that was still interesting. Yeah. So the last part, we're just gonna play a couple of quick games. Jester is gonna make us look awesome, which is great. Not Jester. I think I think
More
Jester
awesome.
Gala is like this big. Just because he's so generous in giving all the time. So first question, yeah, I just threw my hand. The first game we're gonna play is called Questions Only. It's great. So how it works on Zoom at least is that when you're doing the scene, your video is on. When you don't do the scene, your video is off. So I'm just gonna real quickly experiment with that. Yeah, great, awesome. I'm out. So 2 people, and as the moment you don't ask a question, you did, and then you get replaced by someone else. So let's do this. It's questions only. You all know, you all played this game like ad nauseum already. So let's give you guys a fun place to be. Let's go with the Death Star.
A what? A Death Star.
The
Oh,
Death Star, yes.
Have you seen The Emperor?
do you know the way to the bathroom?
Isn't that like 5 levels down?
Aren't you the janitor?
Don't I look like Darth Vader?
No.
Your video?
Stormtrooper 251, have you been practicing your aiming drills?
Did I miss again?
Is our uniform white?
Is that why we lost?
Are you okay?
No.
Amazing.
Sith Lord. Could you turn around?
Are you speaking to me?
Are you gonna kill me?
Do I look in the killing mood?
Is there a difference between your killing mood and your loving mood?
Will you just get to the point?
Did you ask for coffee?
Did you put equal? Why are you hesitating?
So, are we getting paid overtime for this?
There's a bantha shit in the woods.
Nice.
Have you seen where the map is?
What map are you talking about? You talking about this one?
Wow.
Is that a question?
Are you questioning my ability to ask questions?
Why don't we take it to our superiors?
How did we get so distracted?
Why do? Never mind.
Okay, great. So I think Death Star is a little played out. Let's switch setting to somewhere else. For some reason, I was thinking about
The
Frank
amygdala.
Herbert's Dune.
Mm.
So that's the next setting. All right. Next person up to challenge John. Awesome.
Sandworms are eating people now?
Isn't that what they said in the news?
Why did you tell me to buy stock in sandworms if they're just gonna eat us all?
Is that what you thought I said?
How was I supposed to interpret what you said? You're our tribal leader.
Yeah, but aren't you the person who knows economics?
Don't you know how devoted I am to this cause?
When was the last time you donated to this cause?
When was the last time you checked the financial records?
Didn't I just say that aren't you the person that handles our money?
How are the two of us arguing about this right now when there is literally a giant snail that's about to destroy us all?
How did we get so distracted?
I don't know.
Oh no, I'm getting competitive. I'll try not to.
What is the mind killer?
Holy shit. Hello, Imran.
Who is that behind you?
It's a sandworm. I'm done.
Oh no.
I could have played with that for hours.
Is that the sun rising in the east?
Isn't that a tale as old as time?
Have you found us our direction yet, cadet?
Which way's west?
Did I not just say that the sun is rising in the east?
Did you?
Listen!
And scene. Okay, we're done.
Oh, I'm
John,
sorry,
you have
okay.
won.
John steamrolled this, I think.
I'm sorry.
He won. Imran, everyone, he's made an appearance in most of our calls.
Yeah, he's the constant.
Yeah. I asked him if he minded, and he was like, "You do you."
Do I have a choice? Nah.
Where's Jess? Is she gone? Cool.
I'm back.
Oh, hey. Okay. Thank you all for spending the last hour with me. I appreciate that. It was all nice to see you all again. I think I've actually seen all of you in some capacity, somewhere, somehow, which is awesome. It's great.
It's his lie machine. It's his lie machine.
My calendar tells me that Manchester United versus West Ham is on.
Nice. It was on.
It
was
would have
on
been
in the
on in a
alternate
different
future.
universe. So I've got to go and not watch it because it's not happening, obviously. Thank you all so much. It will be up real soon. And hi, Jester, again.
Thanks, Jester, and
And,
thank you
so-
guys. It's so good to see everybody.
Yeah, it's really nice.
This
to
was
catch up.
Improv Therapy week.
Yay!
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. See you real soon.
Bye.
Bye.